Let's open up a Spiritforged Pre-Rift Kit. Now this kit was meant to be used at your local game store for the pre-release event, but my store had a few extras, so I was able to buy one on release day. So essentially you would go to the event and you'd get this kit, and inside of the kit you have 5 packs and then a special kind of 15 card little mini champion deck. And then you had to make a 25 card minimum deck with up to 3 colors based off of this kit and the packs that you had. So you could have a legend and a champion, or neither, or one, and you were allowed to use up to 3 colors. So it was generally a pretty fun event, and I enjoyed playing it, and I enjoyed actually going there and seeing all the new Spiritforged content. And I had some really great pulls in my pre-rift kit at the event, so I was hoping to get something fun in this kit, and the price was quite reasonable for what you got in it, so I decided to purchase one on launch day. So we have the Ezreal set here, and then we've got 5 Spiritforged packs and a promo. So this is the Yone promo. That was the only promo that you got, and everyone had the same one, so every kit just had the Yone, and then you have the 5 packs. And those are just standard packs. Basically, you could get anything. You could even get a signature, and someone did at my pre-rift event get a signature. But there's the Yone promo, which now I've got 2 of, and the Ezreal deck. So this is meant to be the Ezreal champion and the Ezreal legend, and then some cards that are both of his colors to go along with it to give you a starter if you wanted to build that with your deck. At my other event, I got Jax, and I ended up just building off of the Jax because I thought it would be the most fun. So here we have some of the Ezreal cards that they recommend or they suggest you use. We've got a bunch of the blues up first, and then we're also going to have some purples. So this would kind of give you a really good starting point to go off of based off of what you get in the other packs. And since they let you have a 3rd color at the event, even if you didn't get enough purples or blues to complete a 25 card deck, you could add in a 3rd color and definitely meet your needs. I was pretty happy to get Ezreal here because I didn't have him yet, so at least it wasn't a duplication, so that was kind of cool. And now we're going to get into the actual packs. So you got 5 packs in this kit, and we're going to open them all up in this video and see if we're lucky and we get anything crazy good. I heard some rumors that the packs in these pre-rift kits were really good compared to normal packs. I don't know if that's true, but I did get an overnumber and a fancy rune in my other ones, and someone at my store did get a signature. So it definitely is a possibility, but I really don't think that's necessarily like a fact. I think it's kind of just a perception that people have from opening these packs and from posting it on social media and stuff like that, and the pre-rift events definitely got a lot of attention. Honestly, I really enjoyed this pre-rift event more than the other one, and the other one was kind of just a sealed product, like everyone got a deck, which was fun because you all started on the same playing ground and I had no idea how to play, but this was a really cool concept. So first up for the holos here, we've got the Aphelios starting out first. Then we have Piercing Light spell, which I feel like is generally a pretty good spell, or at least people have been looking for this card, so that's nice. And then we have another Ezreal, so the Ezreal Prodigy, which is different from the Ezreal that you got in that little pre-kit, which was good. I was pretty excited to have an Ezreal. It was kind of fun just to match with the kit. See, that was the original Ezreal it came with, and then you have the second Ezreal. So definitely a good pull, and he's kind of a sought-out champion right now. So not a bad pack to get us started, and of course your rune and your little informational insert. I'm happy that they did this kind of pre-rift event, and I'm looking forward to the next one. It was a lot of fun to play, and it really got the community together, and a lot of people came out. I mean, my event at my store was sold out, and I think most other stores in my area were also fairly sold out for their events. So it was a lot of fun, and everyone enjoyed it. I know a lot of people were able to go to multiple events. I wasn't. I only went to the one, so I only had one pre-rift kit essentially, and then this one that I purchased. But if you went to a couple different events, you were able to get 5 packs and those first set of cards for a pretty decent price and have a fun experience playing. So I definitely think it was worth it. At our store, the registration to the pre-rift event was $45, and you got obviously the 5 packs, so it's basically a better price than if you just went out and bought packs right now at the prices that they're going for. And it was definitely worth it, so. And this lets you get some product even if you don't necessarily have the funds or the desire to purchase an entire booster box or just individual packs later on. So first up here we've got the Doran's Ring, and equipment is huge in this expansion. And then we have the Sacred Shears, another equipment. And for the last card, we've got Jace, so the champion unit of Jace. Overall, a fun pack, and then a gold token. So those gold tokens are going to be pretty prevalent, I think, in this expansion, and I didn't have any on my first pre-rift event, so when I kept having cards that needed gold tokens, I was using just random things, but definitely now that I've opened the booster box, I've got a lot more of those gold tokens, so that's kind of fun. And it always feels good when you open up a pack and you get rares instead of just getting uncommons or commons in shiny. Now, I am trying to build a full set, slowly but surely, so eventually I do want to have all of the commons and all of the uncommons in their nice shiny, but it's a lot more fun when you get rares and epics in your pack. So that's what we're kind of hoping for as we open these packs, and especially because I'm trying to build decks to actually play with each week at our Nexus night, so I definitely need those cards to fill the gaps. And I'm not opposed to buying singles, but I just haven't bought any yet. Especially being in Canada, shipping sometimes is difficult, even from TCG players, so I prefer to just trade locally and open packs. So here we go with our first one. We've got the Ruin Runner, then we've got the Draven Legend, which is good because Draven's a pretty strong deck right now, and I've considered playing him because I do like the red and purple, so I'm not too mad at that. And then we've got the Trinity Force, which is definitely a sought out after card, at least at my store. Plenty of people have been asking for the Triforce, so a pretty good pack. Now, I've seen some talk online about people not liking the fact that legends take up one of your rare slots from the 3 rares that you can get in a pack. And I kind of see where they're coming from, because once you have one, you don't need another one, versus other cards like that Trinity Force, you could technically run 3 in your deck. So it's definitely kind of a one and done sort of card. And I can understand that it's frustrating if you've opened up like 4 booster boxes and you end up having 20 legends and you can really only use one of each. And since, they're not super expensive, just the regular ones, not the obviously over numbers or anything like that, but just the regular ones are not super pricey as singles, it's kind of like a waste. So I'm curious if Riot will do something in the future, like move them to a different slot the way we have the runes or the tokens. That might be a concept that they would consider. Personally, I opened up 1 booster box and I was happy to have basically one of every legend. I really enjoy trying out new decks and thinking about different ways of playing the game, so I was happy to just get the legends to be able to actually play them, but I do have quite a few duplicates even though I only opened 1 box, so I can see where this kind of becomes a problem. For the shinies here, we've got the Little Dog, the trusty Ramhound. Now we have Vex, so another champion unit, and I love Vex, even though I've never really played her that much in League. I think she's awesome, and she's like the little emo Yordle, and I love her, so happy to have Vex. And then we have the Card Sharp. So those are our 3 shinies for this pack. So far, nothing crazy in this pre-rift kit, but it was still worth the money and definitely a lot of fun to open. And now we're going to move on to our last pack of the 5 in this pre-rift kit and see if we can pull an overnumber, an alt art, or one of those fancy runes. Even though I would never play with the fancy runes and I would never play with the overnumbers because I'm too afraid to damage them. But since I want to collect and also play, you gotta get both. You gotta get everything. But there are some people at my store that play with like a full set of the fancy runes, and I'm just too afraid. I don't know how to do that. Never gonna happen for me. Definitely too much of a collector's thing. But those guys do it, and I'm always like, wow, that is impressive, and it's kind of like, okay, maybe my opponent is on top of their game, So now we're in our last pack of this pre-rift kit. Overall, I am satisfied with it, and I've been very satisfied with the Spiritforged launch, and it was a really good time. I was definitely happy that my local game store had product in stock, and they decided not to charge scalper prices for it, so that was very wonderful as well. Lucky to have a nice local game store. I know that's not the case for everybody, but I have 0 complaints on all fronts for Spiritforged launch so far. So as we wind down on the number of cards we've got left in this pack, we've got first up the Boots of Swiftness, and I got terrorized by Ornn with these Boots of Swiftness in my pre-rift event, just saying. Then we've got the Guardian Angel, another good equipment and another item from actual League of Legends, and then our final shiny of this pack, we have the Fiora Legend. So kind of, we talked about the legends before, but I'm not too mad at it just yet. It's okay, and I'm interested kind of playing Fiora, so it'll be all good in the end. And that was our pre-rift kit. So thanks for watching along, and stay tuned as I open up tons of more packs from our booster box.